Hi, it is iYikkam time again. So it has been for years that many of our Wing Chun friends message me asking me, so Hendrik, whatever you talk about, can it pass under the test under pressure? So everything need to be able to test it under pressure and pass the test under pressure. And then some friend will message me say, instead of give me all this talk, show me techniques or how do you work with a partner. Okay. Today I like to share with you the answer for this type of questions once for all. Okay. I choose this place to do the sharing today because there's a reason. Okay, so let's go into the topic now. People who have been in Las Vegas know this is the strips. Okay, you see how many tall buildings there. Now, how is those building, this tall building, okay, be able to hold on so many people there? So the real test is it is used in daily life. Okay, now we need to be really careful to be able to use for daily life in all this building in the strips. Doesn't mean that it is compare who is the highest or who is the tallest building or the highest building. What it says is that all this building has to be able to sustain all conditions so the people living on it in multiple floor is safe and secure. Okay, so that is pass under test. Now, in order to pass under test, the designer has to base on engineering and physics. It's not based on, hey, I can make a building taller than you, those kind of stuff. Those are not answer the questions of will it pass under the test, will it be useful, okay? And so with all this building, we know one thing, it got to be engineering, it's got to be scientific, okay? So what I'm getting to with my video channel is that everything I present to you got to be in engineering way, scientific way. Okay, it's not about me the best fighter or not about which building is the tallest. It's about the basic engineering, science, physics there. Make sure that all these buildings or all the Wing Chun practice can pass under the situations which is needed in daily living. Okay, because this people have to live there every day. Okay, if that thing going down, you can see, you can know how much trouble is there, how much casualty is there. Okay, so saying that, to all the historian of Wing Chun and the researcher, it has been for a long time. I tell everybody that if one is researching Wing Chun, one better know the history, the technology, and the science behind it, because these are three faces of one coin. Okay, so you have Wing Chun, you have the Wing Chun history, you have the Wing Chun technology, you have the science, which is be able to explain what's going on. Now, Wing Chun history is telling us what it is. The science is telling us why is it. The technology is telling us how is it. So when we present something like Wing Chun, a martial art, we better be able to present the what, why, how. Instead of saying that, oh, this is some kind of chi power, internal power, based on this grandmaster or this history or according to this history or that. Well, that is not valid. Because until one know the how, why, what, one doesn't know anything, which is solid. Okay, one can say, well, this is my opinion, but it is not something solid. So based on this platform, I like to give you four criteria, okay, which is the realistic needs to pass under test. Okay, usually people, if they do not know these four criteria, then it is actually very confusing when people say pass under test. So what pass under test? So like those building, okay, you say you got to be pass under test. So pass under test what? Okay, many people take it like, oh, you know, which is the tallest building. Like if you think you are good, fight me. Okay, see who is a better fighter. What? That is not what it is. What it is the science, the physics behind this building. Okay, so that it be able to survive in daily real life tests. Okay, so there are four criteria that usually that people really confused about, especially in Chinese martial arts, which I now formulate it out, summarize it out, so that here on you know this is what I call the I4U. Okay, I actually call I4C. I is impulse, 4 is the 4 criteria, C is the criteria, I4C. This is important. Okay, now it's extremely critical. What happened is fighting is an exchange of impulse, very fast impulse. That's fighting. When you want to get into fighting, it is an exchange of impulse. Okay, if one fail to know this and thinking that I do a tanda, I do a labda, that is fighting, then one missed the whole thing, because the entire thing of fighting is the exchange of momentum. Okay, and it is just a simple, really high-speed exchange of impulse, okay, or the change of momentum. So this is the first thing, is you know that fighting is an exchange of impulse. When people fail to understand this, it boils down to impulse handling or impulse exchange is equal to what? Violence. So when people say violence, no, this is very violent, it's just meaning that the exchange of the impulse is in a high intensity. But in the reality, fighting is a high intensity exchange of impulse. Okay, it never is standing there, the tanda, labda, all this kind of stuff. Okay, or the chi sao, this, it never be like that. It is going, is a handling of impulse. Now, in order to handle the impulse, in the very beginning, one need the H3C, which is I present before. If one have no idea in one's body mechanics, no idea handling the CG in dynamics, no idea in this generations of the impulse, one practically have no clue what is going on there. So the first criteria of this I4C is that we need to know that, okay, this is fighting. Fighting is exchange of impulse. Impulse meaning the change of momentum, and this is high speed. And the body has to, the body mechanic has to be able to do it. Okay, so that's what the H3C come into play. Okay, so you can watch that H3C movie or the video. Now, that's the first thing, the mechanics. The second thing is under this exchange of impulse situations, one need to know that the mechanics and the breathing has to be support each other. Okay, the mechanic and the breathing has to support each other, because mechanic can end up to actually disrupt the breathing. And once if the mechanic disrupt the breathing, then you're dead because you cannot breathe. That is the reason why many people, when they fight, only first, second punch and they feel out of breath. They just feel helpless because the breathing stuck there, okay? So you cannot be like this. You cannot be iYikkam ma like that, and then you punch like that, and then you play a Xiu Lim Tao like that, and then your breathing all stuck here. Okay, you cannot do that because that actually, whatever you do, or I just really forcefully punching this one, whatever I do actually make my breathing stuck there, my diaphragm's not moving. The entire breathing system is actually getting to shut down many times. Okay, often it's a shutting down. So one feel helpless. Okay, so it has to be, okay, you see, the body pumping, okay? It's like when you do squat, you pump the body instead of you standing down there straight, all this tucking your tailbone, all this thing, like you're punching this. Well, you're going to get out of breath, okay? Because the entire human body, you have to rely on the pumping and the coordinations of the mechanics and the breathing, the proper breathing and the diaphragmatic motion there, okay? So this is the second of the I4C. So the first thing is that if one never trained in the exchange of the inputs and generation inputs like the H3C, one no idea what is going on. If one do not train in this the coordinations of the breathing and the mechanics, one is going to feel helpless the first, second punch. It's like the body is just a run out of gas. You just cannot go on. Or you don't have stamina, okay? So this is critical. Now, the third thing is this. The third thing is one need to know once the inputs momentum, the inputs exchange started, once the inputs exchange started, once the fighting started, okay, then it's not going to stop until one party is lost or knocked down or take down or those kind of stuff. So once it start, it's not like tanda, okay, or labda, and that's all, okay. It will be continues on multiple strike combinations, okay. So either one will get takedown or one get KO or whatever, okay. Now we can know that we today know at these situations one need to be able to handle forward, backward, side, okay, and then up and down. So forward, backward, side to side, up and down, inputs handling, okay. So to repeat all this again, first one need to know the I4C, first, the first criteria is that we need to know fighting is an exchange of inputs in high speed. The second I4C is one need to develop the mechanics which can handle the inputs or generate the inputs. This is the H3C to be very, very minimum and basic. The third criteria is one need to be able to have a coordinations between the mechanics and the breathing, okay. Otherwise it will not function. One will feel helpless or even have like no energy around, or guess even at the first strike or second strike. One cannot go on and on and on. So the fourth one is at the exchange of momentum, it will end up to be go forward, backward, side to side, up or down, okay. So it will continue until somebody is KO or takedown. Okay? So this is the I4C. If this I4C is not trained and developed, forget about go testing out there for the building, because your building is not designed based on science, and one doesn't even know how to test it because one really don't know what one is designing. Okay? So all my video, I want to make it as an education, as what I already shared many times. So it is a scientific way. It's not provoking like you're a better fighter or I'm a better fighter. No, we want to understand science, like how to build all this building. Well, everybody come here, they are happy. Okay, they bring their family. Everybody's enjoying all this high-rise buildings and casino, and have entertainment and everything. Okay, it doesn't have to be, hey, I am the best fighter, you're the best fighter. For what? What we want is to know how to build this building. Okay, so this is what I like to share with you today. In order to be realistic, knowing what one is training, what one is doing in Wing Chun, one better know the I4C. The first is fighting is an exchange of inputs. Inputs is a physical quantity, if you call it. It is the exchange, is the change of momentum. So it's under impulse momentum theorem. It's in physics. Okay, so fighting is an exchange of impulse. That's the first criteria. One need to know that. It's not just playing techniques. Okay. The second is one need to have the mechanics, such as the H3C developed. The third is one need to have this H3C or this mechanic which can handle and generate inputs to coordinate with the breathing. Otherwise, one will go and run out of gas. Okay, one couldn't even do anything. One get the helplessness. The fourth is once this exchange of momentum or exchange of inputs started, it will go forward, backward, side to side, up or down, continuously. There's no such thing as tanda, everything the end. No, it will crush in and many times exchange blow, and then continues down 3 or 4 combination before one knocked out, KO, or one get taken down. That is the reality. So I4C is a summation of the reality in a scientific way. And I like to share with all Wing Chuners today, 2017 Christmas Day, because if you want to really learn Wing Chun for self-defense, you need to know this. You need to train in this. And this is not for like, you go out there, be gung-ho, want to fight everybody. No, this is a science. Everybody can study. It's just like the science to build all this building. And once one have this science, it doesn't mean that one can need to go out prove oneself. Like this building, everybody can build their good building to provide positive and constructive things for other people. Okay, so this is to share with you today. And remember the I4C. That is extremely critical if you want to use your martial art for self-defense or fighting.